Ahead on DC News Now, car careens into a home. More than a dozen people displaced in Maryland. How an SUV hurling into the front porch in Montgomery County. Not loving it. A fireworks explosion at a Northern Virginia McDonald's. Gaping hole in the ceiling of the men's bathroom. 2 officers hurt after violence overnight. How young people are reportedly involved. National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. calls grow to oust the Guard. One group that's hoping governors take action.
And our weather this weekend started off on a, well, not so great note, but can we turn it around for Sunday? The answer coming up.
And fall savings from the pumpkin patch to fighting ghoulish bad actors trying to trick you from seasonal treats. Keep your eyes on the money. We're stretching your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Saturday evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. All new tonight, more than a dozen people are without a home in Montgomery County after a car crash sent an SUV into the front porch of a house. Police say they were called to Franklin Knowles neighborhood. That's near Eastern Middle School off of University Boulevard. Initial reports were for 2 vehicles crashing into each other near East Indian Spring Drive. As a result, an SUV ended up crashing into the home as well. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, but 10 adults and 3 kids are now without a home because of that damage. In Virginia, employees at a Fairfax County fast food restaurant are bracing for possible continued violence involving young people. Well, those employees tell us it's a common occurrence at that McDonald's, especially after high school football games. Our Dave Lavelle tells us how the latest incident differed from the others.
This McDonald's on Maple Avenue West in Vienna has seen its share of unruly juveniles over the last year, according to employees. But Friday night took it to a whole different level. Look for yourself. A gaping hole remains in the ceiling of the men's room after someone set off fireworks in it. Employees told us another large group of students, mostly from nearby Madison High School, crowded into McDonald's as a fight broke out in the restaurant. Madeline Laton lives nearby.
I'm not super surprised considering the rowdiness I'm sure the game was yesterday.
2 Vienna police officers suffered minor injuries when someone shot fireworks at them after they arrived at the restaurant. Fairfax County Police and Virginia State Police assisted Vienna and used pepper balls on people who refused to leave. Police reported no injuries. This is the 3rd McDonald's in Northern Virginia plagued by juvenile violence over the last few months. The Franconia location near Edison High School banned anyone under 21 from eating in the restaurant back in May, following a fight. It's since rescinded that policy, but students only have 30 minutes to eat and leave. A fight broke out at the McDonald's in Burke in August, following a football game at nearby Lake Braddock Secondary School. As for the Vienna location, employees said problems began there about a year ago.
I'm not sure what can really be done. I'm not sure if police reinforcement is the right answer.
Operators of this McDonald's did not respond to our request to comment as to what they plan to do to prevent future problems. In Vienna, Virginia, Dave Lavelle, DC News Now.
Hopefully no more issues. Dave, thanks. Time is 9:04. Meteorologist Scott Sumner standing by with a look at your forecast. Scott, a day of rain. Will it go away for our Sunday?
Yeah, that's a saying. Rain, rain, go away, come back another day. Well, it will. At some point, it's going to come back here. Ben, right now, 68 degrees. We do have those showers outside and some low visibility in spots. Some fog could be an issue overnight tonight. You can see here on the latest radars, it scans the region. The heaviest of the activity is east of D.C. in the Beltway, but needless to say, we still have showers in our general vicinity. Now, the ones that were over at 6 o'clock in Garrett County as well as Allegheny County, they have moved in towards Pennsylvania at this point in time. But still, around Charlottesville, moving up towards Orange and Culpeper, more showers are in the offing. And as you see here, those showers I just pointed out will continue to move between here and between Charlottesville and Culpeper between now and 11:04 in a 2-hour time frame. All right, so the weather headlines here, we've got showers early evening here, and I'd say early, it takes you right up to midnight, and overnight fog is a possibility. A better looking Sunday ahead, and a fairly quiet week ahead in general. But we are watching the tropics, and we'll talk about that coming up. Ben?
All right, Scott, thanks. All new tonight, we've learned that the 69-year-old woman was killed in a house fire in Allegheny County, Maryland yesterday. It was an intense scene. Officials say the woman was trapped inside of the two-story home on Prunty Road. The woman's body was reportedly found after dozens of firefighters battled the blaze for an hour. Her identity has not been shared, and officials say that she was living there. Responders also said that one of their own had minor injuries from the flames. They're going to be okay. What caused the fire is still under investigation, but crews say they noted no smoke alarms were found inside. Happening this weekend, there is a crime crackdown, not just in D.C., but also in Prince George's County. Police say that they're trying to make neighborhoods safer for everyone. Our Jan Marisa Save reports that while officers are hitting hotspots, their goals aren't solely focused on making arrests. All right, turning our focus back to the district, we'll get that sorted. Developing news, President Donald Trump says that he is expanding his deployment of National Guard troops, saying he will send the Guard into Portland, Oregon. Mr. Trump says that he is authorizing full force, if necessary, to handle what he's calling domestic terrorists. Trump made the announcement on social media, saying that the decision is necessary to protect U.S. ICE facilities, which he alleges is under attack by far-left anti-fascist activists known as Antifa. Oregon's governor says there is no national security threat in Portland. Well, more people are calling for the National Guard troops to be deployed in Washington, D.C. to go back to their home states. Activists with the Free D.C. group, as well as residents from those troops' home states, are speaking out. The Army tells us that there are still over 1,300 troops from Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Georgia, Tennessee, and West Virginia. Around 960 troops are members of the D.C. Guard. Protesters are urging governors to call them back home, saying it's a waste of money for them to be in D.C. Free D.C. advocates go a step further, alleging the Guard poses a safety risk.
Deploying the Guard is an attempt to intimidate us so that they normalize the presence of the military so that they can prevent a transfer of power.
As a former Guard member myself, I would be devastated to know that I'm being pulled away from my family and my life to work as a political pawn in this unjust occupation.
Now, some people have told us that they welcome the sight of the Guard on city streets. They have been deployed since August the 11th. The Joint Task Force with the Army says most of the Guard's current mission is to beautify and clean up D.C., saying they've completed 100 projects, including clearing trash, pruning trees, and packaging over 6,000 pounds of food. On the move, commuters got a heads up for you this weekend and next. There are some metro stations that are closed. Maintenance work is going to impact areas on the blue, orange, and silver lines. WMATA says a stretch of the blue line from Foggy Bottom to Crystal City will be closed, but there are free shuttle buses there. You can take the yellow line from the Pentagon to Crystal City, though. Crews will also be working on the orange and silver lines with shuttle buses from Foggy Bottom and Courthouse Station. But some riders jumping on shuttle buses, they say, defeats the purpose of why they're taking trains to begin with.
It's a little bit of a hassle, especially for people like me who prefer to take the metro because I don't want to sit in traffic.
Station closures also impact trains next weekend. WMATA urges you to plan ahead. All right, there could be a hiccup for DC's music history. The new Go-Go Museum that just opened earlier this year is facing funding concerns. As we first told you earlier this week, our Marielle Carbone reports that museum operators are hoping for a change in tune to keep the records playing.
And the museum opened to the public back in February, but now about 7 months later, the costs are adding up. It's why the founder is now calling on the community to help keep this uniquely DC museum up and running. Inside this museum in Anacostia,
it's like uplifting to see the experience.
A sound unique to DC rings loudly. Go-go music.
It's been a good thing and a bad thing. What is the good thing? Countless busloads of children, seniors, and tourists have come here. Unfortunately, we have to man and staff that.
Ron Moten is the founder of the Go-Go Museum and Cafe, a project 5 years in the making. It officially opened in February with the help of funding from D.C. government.
Well, some people say, well, you got money. Yeah, we did, and we came $5 million under what they said it was going to cost.
Now, 7 months later, costs are adding up.
Since our Pepco bill went up from $800 to $1,400.
Moten is calling on the community to help raise $500,000 for operating costs, which will keep it open 5 days a week, staff, secure, and maintain the museum.
And sometimes people get used to you doing something with nothing. While we've been doing it on a skeleton budget, we can't continue to do it like that.
Entrance is free for D.C. residents, a decision Moten won't change.
But D.C. government helped fund a lot of this museum, so therefore we're not going to charge D.C. residents.
But he says the museum does make money other ways: merchandise, tour groups, and corporate rentals.
So there are more ways to support us than just giving money.
The museum is taking donations online and taking support in person through every visitor who walks in the door.
Well, you have over 100 African-American businesses in one corridor. If this fails, it will never happen again in the District of Columbia.
And Moten says the museum has already raised about $70,000 towards its goal, but the official fundraising campaign that kicks off on October 4th with an event here at the museum. Reporting in Southeast, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Recognize that ditty? Well, the Kennedy Center is alive with the sound of music. The stage performance debuted 65 years ago, becoming a classic story of love, resilience, and the power of music. Guests got a special treat at last night's performance. The actress who played Gretel in the movie, Kim Carruth, was there. She answered questions about the Von Trapp family singers and reminisced about playing Gretel.
I think there's something for everyone. I think it appeals on so many levels. Musically, it's a masterpiece. Our particular movie was a masterpiece of cinematic excellence.
The Kennedy Center hosts The Sound of Music through October the 5th. Coming up, getting ready for the fall feels, helping you stretch your dollar as you shop for Halloween decorations, so you're not tricked by a fake holiday pop-up. And with fall officially here, we've got ways to celebrate at several pumpkin patches, corn mazes, hay rides. Look at Pumpkin Hill as well. 9:12 as we take a live look outside of the National